Alright guys, we are set up and ready to go. I think this is the first time I've prepared the stream and it took me a good 40 minutes to get everything set up in a reasonable way. So, this is going to be the cast of a 21 Duels spin-off event called the Gang of Strife, I suppose. And basically these 5 players will be facing off against each other in a very nice tournament format where we start with a 4-player free-for-all, actually 2 games of free-for-all, and then we're gonna advance to a more of a pocket bot format. And the winner, or like the rank of the players at the end of this tournament, will determine their placement in the 21 Duels challenge as duelists. No, revolutionary. Wait, ha! Duelists. So confusing. And we can have a look at the Season 2 preview for a bit. So we have a lot of contestants actually, or revolutionaries here. When 10 players even, a crazy amount. And then these players are what is going to be determined right now. Who are going to be in Arc 1 and in what order. Well, only the order. We know who are going to be the duelists for the first arc. So, with that said, let's see if we have everyone in this game. Looks like we're not there yet. Jacoby, Pedro, the Child, and we are missing the Schneck. Or yes, we are missing the Snack. And it looks like the Snack is enjoying a game of Rainbow Six Siege at the moment. So, does anyone have Lesnack's phone number? Alright. Let's see. Yeah, we need someone to be able to contact Lesnack and wake him up. Unfortunately, he didn't set a timer or anything. It seems like maybe he's run into some real life issues. We're gonna have to wait for a little bit. Hold my ponies. In the meantime, we can do absolutely nothing. Unfortunately, there's not much to analyze or discuss at the moment. One cool thing is this afternoon I played with Mishi a few games of the Mishi Madness Balance mod, or MMM for short, and it was a lot of fun. You can go check out that VOD for a bit, maybe. Yeah, someone get Lesnack up in this game. This is unfortunate. What can we do? If he doesn't show up, maybe we do 3 free-for-alls and then have him DQ. What is that? DQ? Ooh! Lord Iris hosting for 8 viewers. Thank you, Iris. And welcome to the stream, everyone. I am going to go and repeat a little bit of this 21 Duels thing. Trying to see if we can contact with Snack through Steam now. Anyway, am I doing this right? Yeah. So Pingu, Pedro, Jacoby, the Child, and the Snack will be facing off against each other to determine the order in which they will appear in the 21 Duels Season 2. And Season 2 is going to look like this. The revolutionaries for Season 2 will be Swifty, Sly Fox, Split, Shrownel, Blue Coon, Kerpa, Ace, James, Froggo, and Duhu. All starting out with 4 lives. And they will be facing off against the Gang of 5, of which we will determine the order in which they appear right here. And that will be the first arc. Ooh, we seem to have something special in Season 2. A spooky interlude? What is that? Win this bonus game to earn an extra life. Alright, so it's not going to be a free extra life anymore. You need to do something. Or you need to win a game against that rip? Alright, and then there's Arc 2, Parzival, Quizzical, Anzu, Blatlat, Weasel, a new secret weapon, Gabony. And then, bonus game for another life, alright. Interesting. One of the Gang of 5, Cheddar, Cold Wargrace, Meowkaiser, GG Soak, Lord Cheddar, Mishi, and... Wait, Mishi. But then... Where's the gentleman? Huh. A lot of mystery in this this season here, but I heard a sound. Do we have a snack up in this game? No, not yet. Yup. Yup. The host definitely worked. Oh, I think we found the snack. He's saying, just as I was about to go walk my dog. Unfortunate. Dog can wait. I'll force my sister. Alright, sounds good. Think we're gonna be able to start within just a few minutes. Jump in the room and fight. Alright, gonna make sure I'm on the game. Radio Pro 6 is fun, but not that much fun. Don't want to make that mistake again. Still need to do a fundraiser for a second monitor because that would help me out tremendously. And I don't. I'm a poor boy. I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me. Easy, something. Alright, the child is getting a little bit impatient, it seems. He's starting to use his commander to go in and out of spectate mode. Incredible micro we're seeing here from the child. I don't know if he can keep this up. Wow, all players starting to behave erratically. Not sure what's going on. I think they're just so hyped to play this game, they can't wait. Alright. Snack, please. They're going crazy. This is all your fault. Everyone's going totally mental. Yes, Mishi, they are in revolt. Alright, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the snack has joined the game here. And we can get to it. Here we go. All players ready up, and it's down to the deck selection right now. So let's see what kind of crazy decks these guys are going to come up with. This is a free-for-all after all. Pedro is gonna do a little bit of stream sniping. It looks like he doesn't quite want to select a deck before having a look at the other players' decks. I think that's a very good strategy. Not sure if it's legal, but what can you do? Maybe I should have had a stream delay. But you know, chat interaction is pretty important too. Right. This is 100% stream snipe. 100%. Oh yeah, lizard, squirrel. That seems a good start. Falcon, skunk, owl, and turret. All right. There we go. Let's hope this is a really good map. I've seen some bad maps, especially for free-for-all. You can get screwed over pretty bad. But this is all for fun, although there is an advantage to winning these for sure. Alright, a little bit of lag at the start, unfortunately. And here we go. All players starting to scout queued up that one farm. No one's gonna go into any aggression. Doesn't look like at the start. Do we have moles? We do have moles from the child. Interesting. I think in a free-for-all, getting moles can put you so far behind, and you can screw up another player, but that goes at the cost of your own victory, pretty much. And all players seem to respect each other here and not really go for the aggression so far. Oh, but there's a Warren from the snack here. He wants to play it safe. Oh, I think Pedro has such a good position on this map. He's just away from all the tension down here. So far, a lizard warren has been built. 2 lizard warrens from the child. All right, we're gonna get into some action right here. Jacoby and Pedro have both fully saturated their bases and are only now starting to get those warrens. Problem is the aggressive players are actually next to each other, and that's gonna be problematic for them for sure. Because if they fight each other, then Jacoby and Pedro would just get so far ahead. And here's some aggression from the snack onto Jacoby, but Jacoby has units up, and the Warrens are definitely doing something. Really nice micro from the snack here. At the same time, looks like the child is moving towards Pedro here to try and get some work done with these lizards. And Pedro doesn't really have too much. He has a few lizards now, though. And it looks like the attack has been deflected at the cost of losing that Warren. All right, let's see. The child now finally fully saturating his base as well. Those lizards didn't get anything done for him, and a really defensive MG here from Jacoby. I think he's going to be fine for now, but he wants to go aggressively and is actually able to cancel this farm from the snack. Well, in fact, destroy it. Ooh, Pedro coming in with the lizards here, getting a snipe. No, getting sandwiched between these two armies. It's total mayhem at the moment. Not really much getting done. However, I think that was a not too bad for Pedro to lose a few units because it was so far ahead on economy and didn't really contribute to the fight. And now the second mill has been taken by him. At the same time, Jacoby is going for the tier 2. And he's the first one to get that, maybe? Nope. There's more tier 2. There's falcons here for Pedro. For the child, I'm sorry. But this mill is just going to be so good. Oh, those farms. And at the same time, these people here are just fighting. Lesnack is in a really tough position. There's not much he can do, really. He can't take the expansion. He's being sandwiched between two sides. MG's going up as well. I think his only choice, pretty much, is to just run here and try to take this mill. And hope that players leave him alone for long enough. Although this mill doesn't really have space to build either. Tough decisions. Tier 3 going down for Jacoby. Oh man, and the ferret harass coming in here. But there's skunks out, they can try and deal with that. At the same time, Snack has to be careful because he's also being pressured by the child. And the child doesn't give a rat's ass about Pedro Owl, he just wants to crush his neighbors instead. Here we go, two sides. The Jacoby sees his chance to get some damage done, and the Snack's not really sure what to do. But at the same time, who is gonna take care of Pedro? No one! A full expansion! Crazy income, and here the Snack is going for it. He wants to deal with Jacoby, but he's just unable to make that push work. And now the child jumping on the chance to deal some damage. Ah, this is gonna be so rough. So the child doesn't really have anything going for him apart from some falcons, but Jacoby is building this badger and it's almost out. He doesn't have a lot of pigeons. He's gonna have a few, and he's trying to take the mill at the same time. And the child's just gonna go in and work his way towards the Snack's warrens. At the same time, Pedro has started to build some owls. They are fairly exposed though, but who's gonna be able to deal with them if there is 18 lizards right here on the map? Yep, and as expected, the Snack is just not able to fight two players on one base. But what's Jacoby gonna do next? This is gonna be the interesting part here, because now we have this triangular relationship where actually, no guys, you can't be fighting each other. This is going to be Jacoby's game, or Pedro's game in this way. Saving the badger, that's good. Oh, it just barely survives there. Really good micro from Jacoby saving that. Able to save a lot of his units actually while he's getting that. Farms up on the expansion here, but this is just looking so powerful here. Alright. No farms yet from the child. And almost the third mill saturated by Pedro. He must be feeling really safe at this point. He got through the hard part, which is not being targeted while you're expanding. And he definitely managed to not die. So now he's so far ahead. Jacoby looking strong though. He is getting his expansion up, and he does have a badger, which is potentially able to deal with mice if he's not being swarmed. He does have skunks as well to deal with the mice, so there's a chance here for Jacoby and the child, if they realize what's happening, to fight Pedro together. Anything can still happen this game. And here comes the scout from the child. He's like, oh, what? 2 mice, 4 falcons, and a bunch of lizards? How did that happen? We should have the players be in voice chat. Yeah, that could have been interesting. But the child scouts Pedro, and he's like, I'm never beating that, but I might beat Jacoby. So that's going to be my plan. But Pedro is already onto him, and he has no way to contest all of these mice. His units are just being whittled away at by 3 units. He's losing pretty much everything here. And that's the child's army gone. And now it's Jacoby's turn. Yep, this is exactly what Pedro wanted to happen. And Jacoby's probably realizing the same thing. If he can take care of, make sure that the child dies first, at least he's 2nd place, right? There it is. Jacoby versus Pedro. 4 bases versus 2. Who is going to win? I don't know. It is exciting. Skunks are good. The badger is good. But owls and 14 falcons might be a little bit better. I don't know. We're gonna have to see how this plays out. The badger starts revving up that thing. And he keeps it revved. All of the mice are slowly dying. This is looking good, actually. And now all the falcons are being targeted down one by one, but the pigeons are dying, and there's just so many mice spawning. But is he doing it? He's doing it. Oh, and the Rev actually stopped there for a second because he was out of range and unable to attack. No more heals on the Badger. It takes down pretty much everything. Really good micro here from Jacoby, but Pedro just doesn't give one bit about losing all those units because he has the economy to deal with this. More heals on the Badger, but the pigeons are exposed. He's trying to rev up that gun again. He's doing a really good job. Is he going to get all this army? It's going to be so amazing. Incredible value from his Badger here. Was about to die. Does it? Oh my god, he saves it barely. Really impressive. Not sure how he's doing this. And actually, Pedro is down to 0. What do you call those? Owls and 6 falcons. He just needs to buy time. But Jacoby, is he gonna give him time? Doesn't look like it. Another falcon going down. The static defense is going down. There is an owl here at this point. But does it matter? Oh, the Badger's revving up for free. He needs to keep it revved. There's a campfire to help out with that. But now it's giving focus fire so hard. Ooh, you gotta stay with the army. Oh, and he loses the rev. But now, Jacoby is hurting for food to produce those pigeons because they keep on dying. And this is looking very dire. Gets one owl, but so many mice on the ground. And losing all of the pigeons again. He's not able to heal the Badger. I'm not sure how this game hasn't already been finished. Look at these mice. Mice belong in the woods, you can see that here. They just like trees. Alright. The mice are not doing too much because the pigeons are healing the Badger. So Jacoby's doing a good job of pulling them back and having the Badger deal with them. And not letting Pedro get to a large swarm of mice, because that's what's really going to kill the Badger. If he's able to build up a large squad of mice, then the Badger's going to have a really hard time. But he's losing all the pigeons here without doing too much damage to the falcons. Oh, so many units and so many mice. The Badger just doesn't really get a chance to shoot at those falcons. Jacoby keeping up the pressure though. And now Jacoby on 5 bases against 2. It's incredible. What if there was a second Badger up? Pedro should build a billion lizards. Yes, that would be one way to end this game a little bit quicker. Alright, here we go. Pedro is going for the expansion from Jacoby. It just barely... It finished, and some farms finished, but it was immediately dealt with. The Badger taking so much damage just from the mice, but now the mice have pretty much died. And this is Jacoby's chance to deal some damage. Only problem is, there's 20 falcons in the air. Big respect for Jacoby, as you're saying. Really impressive being able to deal with 3 owls and 14 falcons there with just a Badger and a handful of units. I don't know how he did it. But good job. So this means that the first, all right, here we go. All right, am I doing this right? You should see a spreadsheet with the scores. And then Lesnack got taken out first. So he gets 0 points for that. Congratulations. Third place goes to the child, so he gets 2 points. Second place is for Jacoby, so he gets 5 points. And then first place goes to Pedro, earning him 24 points. Now, The second free-for-all will be played with Pingu and without the first place. So that means Pedro does not compete, and it's going to be Pingu, Lesnack, Jacoby, and the child competing in the next match. Alright, return to the lobby. So, as expected, Pedro Ao has left the lobby, and now we are waiting for Pingu. Pingu. Pedro was saying, I saw I had the mill advantage, so I tried to macro a little bit more. Very wise. I think that's what you always do in free-for-all. Also, you did a really good job of macroing. Really good. You were able to throw away your entire army and still win. An entire army with 14 tier 2s and 3 tier 3s, that is. A pretty impressive army to throw away and not die from. Alright. We are ready. I should be on the game right now, so here we go. Oh, it's a snow map. Pretty good. I like the snow maps. There's a lot of area to move around. The only problem with this map is that Pingu is just inherently... I need curse words that I can use on screen because he's just in a bad position for sure. The child has high ground vision on his freaking farms. Only good thing for Pingu is that this area is accessible through this little point right here. But it's gonna force the child and Pingu to fight, which will put them behind with respect to the other two players. Lesnack spawned in the left corner here, is fairly alone, has an expansion that's sort of accessible. And then Jacoby spawning in the top side of the map. He doesn't really have an expansion close by, but he's probably not going to be contested if he goes through this one here. Anyway, let's jump into the action because the child already started building 2 warrens and Pingu is not respecting the distance between these two players right now. He needs to get warrens up or static defenses. He does have turrets. If he would just build a turret, ooh, right there. Well, earlier, the child would have been in trouble, but now it's actually Pingu who's in trouble. Holy crap. The other players have saturated their bases and are now getting a few units out. Lesnack tried to do some lizard harassment but didn't quite get anything done, it looks like. And this is just brutal. Pingu from the high ground, under siege. There's just nothing you can do. He's losing 3 farms, gonna lose 4 soon. The child wisely retreating, doesn't want to put himself behind by too much by sacrificing all of his units into Pingu and opening himself up to attacks from the other players. Very wise. And Pingu is doing the right thing too. He wants to, he needs more space. He needs to get away from the child, so he's trying to take that mill. Hopefully the other players will recognize that he is in a very bad position and try and spare him and focus their attention on someone else. Pingu though, going for the offensive, trying to get the warren, doesn't quite get it. And in the meantime, Jacoby and Lesnack are just powering up. Tier 3 for Jacoby. Lesnack getting some snakes going, as his name suggests. And Pingu just so angry. He's so angry right now, and he's about to become a lot angrier. Look at this squad of lizards just completely eradicating all of the farms. Win ahead, get more ahead, but it doesn't mean you have to focus the weakest player, guys. This is a free-for-all. Oh man, what is going on? This is not even. Oh, and the moles too. The warrens are being sold. Pingu is running for his life. He has some food to build a warren, but no more food to get. Oh my god. Pingu is pretty much out of this match. There we go. So it's down to 3 players right now. The first expansion is going to go down for Lesnek. He has a solid army at the moment. But at some point, Jacoby is going to have this Badger up. No one seems to be able to contest that. Or scout it. At the same time, LeChild is looking around the map. We have some snake harass coming down here from the snack. Very good. Tag on that squirrel. There's heals though. Pigeons are proving to be very useful in this scenario. No kills actually for the snack. So backs off, decides to get 1 farm and more tier 2. And here's that Badger I was talking about. The child from the early investment into army and battling Pingu is a little bit behind compared to the other players and actually wants to go for this mill right now. Commander dies. Oh, and this is just free for the Badger right now. He did get a lot of tags on. He needs to be careful. It's almost dying, but doesn't quite die. He needs to retreat. It's not quite retreating. He has faith in these pigeons, and apparently rightfully so. The child has an opportunity to deal with this Badger until it gets into its own territory, actually. Oh, Jacoby, don't you want to let that heal? Get those tags off, please. It has 4 snake tags. He doesn't give a damn. Here we go. Revving up. The child trying to get some work done here. Looks like he barely gets something done, but the Badger's just a little bit too strong right now. No heals on the Badger, and the Badger actually dies, so he did get a lot done there. Really good from the child, but because he worked so hard, it looks like Lesnek is going to punish him for it. Because the child saved Lesnek from dying, Lesnek feels like the appropriate response here is to just take out the child. Interesting. It's better to be sure that you're going to be second than to maybe be third. That's the conclusion here. But he's actually not able to finish him off, it looks like. He loses all of his units in the process. And Jacoby is just rebuilding that Badger and is set to win this game unless the other 2 players decide to team up. But they don't have much going for them. Lesnek tried to take this mill, but hasn't quite done so successfully. Or at least there's no farms at the moment. Neither the child or Jacoby or Lesnek have expansions actually. It's all going to come down to how you're going to take these fights. The child attacking attacking the snack and whiffs. Attack doesn't really do too much. Army from Lesnek was still too strong. And now it's actually up to Jacoby to decide who is going to be second place, pretty much, and who's going to be third place in this free-for-all. Looks like he maybe wants to secure something for himself. Yep. In case of a base trade scenario, very smart. Getting that campfire up in time. Really thinking ahead here. Very good and wise play from Jacoby. But nah, this army looks so strong, guys. How are you ever going to beat this many squirrels, a Badger, and pigeons in the sky? Maybe he had to take that campfire because he was starving and I just didn't notice that. It was wise nonetheless. Quality cast. Alright, that's the army from the child. It looks like Jacoby has decided who is going to be second place. It's going to be Lesnek. No, actually he has to defend because Lesnek is trying to get this warren with a couple of lizards. But now the only retreat path for the lizards is right through the army from Jacoby, and he loses the brunt of his force. He's probably going to cancel this. Yep, there's a cancel on that Lizard Warren. And now he's actually managed to anger Jacoby and is kind of in a bad position. He might not actually become second, but third in this case. I'm not sure if attacking Jacoby at this moment was a wise move. And the child is actually starving. He has 16 seconds to get something up, and the only campfire in this game has been taken by Jacoby. So there's actually no way for him to unstarve himself unless these squirrels can get that campfire, which is not the case. And there he goes. So the child goes down, and now it's only Lesnek and Jacoby. And I'm not sure what Lesnek's strategy is. I mean, he's taking a lot of bases, which would help him in a base trade scenario, but he doesn't have any units. So I'm not sure how he's gonna trade a base without units. It would pretty much be Jacoby just attacking him and killing him. It would just take a little bit longer. Oops, here we go. I would like to see Jacoby sort of spread his units, maybe send his squirrels one way and then the badger another, just to make this cooler. That would be nice. Has to be careful with those pigments. But there we go. Snek recognizes defeat when he sees it. Or feels it, actually. And looks like he either starved or conceded the game. I think he's starved. Maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He lost. So, going back to the spreadsheet, the scores. Here we go. That means that Pingu, with a really unfortunate spawn, actually placed 4th. Pingu, lucky boy. Then 3rd place is the child. You better keep an eye out on this, because I am human and I will make a mistake at some point during this stream entering the numbers. Then 2nd place goes to Lesnek, which means he gets 5 points. And for winning the 2nd game, you get 20 points, which go to Jacoby. Meaning we have in 1st place Jacoby. 2nd place, Pedro Owl. 3rd place, Pingu. 4th place, Lesnek. And 5th place, the child. Excuse me. Unfortunately, what that means for Le Child is that he does not, in fact, advance to the knockout stage. There will not be a playoff stage, since there is no tie on the 3rd or 4th seed, which means that the child is out of this tournament. The child. And we will advance to the knockout stage. Seed 1, Jacoby, versus Seed 4, Lesnek, and Seed 2, Pedro Owl. I mistype his name there. All right. 2 versus C3, which is Pingu. Let's correct that. Pedro. Oh, that's so hard to type, though. All right, we will play the semifinals. Jacoby versus Lesnek, or should we? Lesnek, did you already do the dog thing where you let the dog out? The child is a nice guy, Yoop. That is right. Switch. Change map. Oh. Alright. 2 versus 1. No, it's not quite what I had in mind. Yeah, so if... wait, I gotta figure this out. right first. Pingu doesn't mind going first. Because maybe some player wants to have a little bit of break. Can you imagine that? Yeah, exactly. Lesnack still needs to walk the dog, so that's why I was considering not doing that first. Which means we're gonna have Pedro and Pingu play. Seed 2 versus Seed 3. If you guys can join this lobby, that would be great. Harry the Platypus, welcome to the stream. Ooh. Maybe this is sort of bugged or something. Can they not join this game? Alright. While we're waiting for these players, I'm going to grab a little bit of water. Unfortunate. Free-for-alls are hard and really random. Alright, are we ready? We are ready. The players are ready. I am ready. I'm on the game. I got my controller in my hands for all this smooth scrolling. So we can start. Knockout stage. Playoffs. Pedro Owl spawning in the bottom left of the map, playing as Civilized. And spawning in the top right hand side of the map, we have Pingu playing as Hopper. It's an interesting map. Both players seem to have an expansion, but Pedro has access to these campfires. Ooh, what's this? Pedro, what are you doing? Pedro is faking the mole rush, it looks like. But he's not even running the mole. So this is all mind games. Pingu doesn't know it though. Pedro is a little bit late on these farms, but it might, if he gets in the head of Pingu, if he makes him nervous, which is a possibility, then he is definitely, that is definitely worth it. Looking at the decks, both players are running Owl as tier 3, and both players have MG, Squirrels, and Toads. There's Ferrets for Pingu, and there is Falcons for Pedro. Skunks. Both players run Skunk. Nope. Falcons as well. So hard. Alright, and this is that campfire here. After 2 warrens, Pedro decides it's safe to get that campfire. Pingu has opted to go for the Ferrets with the 1 warren. Pretty standard play here. But he needs to see this campfire and take an expansion. If he doesn't scout it, he is going to be behind, because ferrets take really long to push into someone. And unless he's constantly destroying things, he cannot offset the campfire food income. And the second campfire going down. And with that skunk and the high ground, double high ground even, Pedro is going to be fairly safe here. But Pingu has recognized the situation, is putting down, is getting this mill and wants to get a farm immediately. There it goes. 1 farm, probably going to be another one soon. A turret to defend against the commander. Turret does not get up in time here. Both players going turrets actually. So now Pedro is considering what he's gonna do next. Walking back and forth here for a little bit, and then Pingu scouts him. Alright, Pedro's been ahead in economy for quite a while now. And if he's gonna take a mill or get a tier 3, no, he's gonna get some more army. Alright, looks like he's gonna gear up for some harassment or an attack even. Getting the mill in case he wants to build farms, very wise. Pingu is very safe here with these MGs and a lot of army, but the ferrets don't really do much for him at this point, unfortunately. Do help him protect against the snakes or other ferrets, but not really used as a sieging tool at the moment. Alright. Pingu scouts the expansion. And there it is. The owl goes down. But it looks like Pedro might be doing the same thing in honor of his name. I really like Pedro getting owls and Lesnack getting snakes. Makes it a little bit easier for me. Getting 4 farms as well as the owl though. This is rather greedy. Can Pingu capitalize on this? He does scout it. I'd like to see a cancel on the mills here on the 2 MGs because they're not doing anything for him right now. Another owl. Another owl. That might help him a lot when dealing with that expansion. Pedro saturating it completely, not building any army in the meantime. He's just on 4 tier 2s and 12 tier 1s. Gonna look at the chat here for a little bit. Don't see synergy. Shadow Princess, welcome to the stream. StarCraft 2 is a really cool game too. But I haven't played it in a while actually. Might get back into it, but it's so much practice and training just to get to the fun part, which is why I love Tooth and Tail. It's exactly what it's supposed to do. You can focus on tactics before you need to perfect your unit building and consistent scouting and looking at the minimap all the time. There it is, second owl from Pedro as well. But Pingu will have an owl advantage for a short while, and maybe he can use that. He's going in for the scout right now, sees exactly what Pedro is doing, but doesn't quite see the expansion. Ooh, lots of ferrets. I'm curious what Pingu is going to do with these ferrets. We're going to see some really high level 6 strats coming out here from Pingu, where I don't know. I'm not sure what it's going to do. Pedro looks really safe here actually. Getting all of these farms. He's going to have a lot of economy to back up his warrens. Or to have his warrens continuously produce units. Whereas Pingu's warrens are not going to be able to reinforce because he's fairly low on economy. Alright, I like this. He's sieging, means he can sell the turrets because they're not going to defend for now. Here we go. Double owl. This is the perfect time for him to move out. Really well spotted here. His army is not in the right place to really utilize these mice being here, and the mice going down really fast. Needs to be sure he doesn't let those owls die for free. And it looks like Pedro has deflected this attack. Pingu's army was not in range to support the mice, unfortunately. And now Pedro has this huge map advantage. The way he split that, also getting static defenses, also has 2 owls at the moment, and a better army composition. Here we go. Do have to say that Pingu has those ferrets though to siege, but he doesn't have skunks, and the mice are gonna be dying really fast, as well as all of that tier 1 is right there in the gas. Really good gas from Pedro. And it looks like the Falcons are reigning supreme, doing a lot of damage, and that's pretty much Pingu's core of the army, or the support for the army has melted actually. And now Pedro can just sit back, let his units heal and be ahead. He's floating 400 food, and Pingu is, like I said, he doesn't have the economy to build units from all of his warrens. The Falcon is blocked. So he decides to get rid of the toads. I like that. Toad's not going to do too much at this point. But what is? What is going to do something for him? Pedro just building more army. Feeling safe and now going for the... or try to defend. Mice are in an awkward position here. And so many falcons in the sky. Pedro just dancing back and forth, letting his units heal. Really patient play here from him. Alright. And now Pingu going in for the siege. He has a lot of falcons though, but does he have enough falcons? He's now being sort of attacked from multiple sides. The concave is really good for Pedro. Where are the owls from Pedro though? All of the owls from Pedro got taken down by Pingu? That means Pingu has a shot, but it's gonna be hard with all of that army from Pedro at his doorstep. Pingu doing a good job defending here. His owls are in the right spot, but there's so much gas on the ground. Oh, look at those falcons spawning from Pingu. Is Pingu doing this? Guys, Pingu has managed to deflect Pedro's counterattack, as well as take down all of his owls. And actually the owls are not building because Pedro has so many falcon and skunk warrens. And now there's 2 owls for Pingu, but 0 for Pedro. Oh my god, is Pingu doing this? He's moving forward. He has squirrels to support his army and fight those falcons. Taking care of the warrens instead of the economy, really smart. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Now he's in the center, being sieged from all sides though. He has to be careful he doesn't lose too much here, because he doesn't have the economy to resupply. And without the falcons, the mice are just not good enough. Ooh, he needs to let those mice spawn. He has to buy time for himself. Yep, get rid of the ferrets. Not going to do much for you. Really good decision making here from Pingu. What a god. What a god. How is he doing this? But now, there's an owl building for Pedro. But as I say that, he cancels the owl warren and just wants to get as many falcons out as possible. Why is he canceling all of that? He's floating 400 food right now. What is happening? Oh, he needs to get farms up. Alright. And now Pingu is taking care of his campfire. Oh, how many squirrels? He only has 3 squirrels. He does have 7 falcons though. And with all the mice tanking for the falcons. Yep, 1 falcon, 2 falcon goes down, 3 falcons goes down. Very good play here from Pingu. Decisive. And now he's right on top of that expansion. A lot of food invested into that for Pedro, and he takes it down. He does it. He does it. How does he do it? I don't know. Superior army from Pedro, but Pingu taking the superior fight there. Oh my god. I never expected that. A really good game to start this this 1 versus 1 series with. GG. Wow. I'm so surprised. I mean, that's the tooth and tail we love. We love to see. Alright, going back to my chart. Here we go. So far, Pingu taking 1 game against Pedro. I'm gonna go back into the lobby. And the Pingu plays. Oh man, so good. So good. How did he get those 3 owls? Hello Fearbro, welcome to the stream. And thank you for the follow. Pingu hacking confirmed. Yes. Well, that's what it felt like. Oh man. How does he? I don't know. I can't stop smiling. That's just, that game was so good. Alright. Looks like Pingu trying to make up his mind on what he wants to play here. Looks like both players might be opting for owls again. Yeah, it was an interesting game, so same deck pretty much. Not exactly, but pretty much the same deck. Fear, bro. Perry the Platypus, thank you for the follow and the snack as well. It's good to see everyone joining in on the fun here. And Fear, bro, thank you, man. I'm not sure about my beard actually. I considered cutting it. What's happening to Pedro? He's having a seizure in the corner. What's going on? Please be safe. Don't drink and drive. Alright, both players going for 8 farms. Let's see, I gotta keep up. Alright. How can I grow such a lush beard? The trick is to not go to the barber and to not shave it. Whoa, look at this! Pingu is going crazy! 4 lizard warrens. No one will ever suspect the madness that Pingu is displaying here. This is just out of this world. 4 warrens might be a little bit too much because only 3 are building. But you can't get more lizards at this point in the game after going for farms. And there's the cancel on that last warren. I like it. You can plant down a farm, but no, he wants to attack and just have that food ready if he trades lizards. He's gonna go for the farm. He's gonna get 1. He's gonna get 2. No. Commander dies. Lizard dies. And now it's 4 farms versus 7. Pedro also floating 200 food right now. This is looking dire. But we all know Pingu is hacking, so don't count him out just yet. This never works for me, Premium. I would have to agree. This objectively never works. You just cannot deal enough damage to offset the loss of farms. It's just impossible. It's a bad build, but it can be good in a tournament where you're playing multiple matches against the same player to throw your opponent off guard. Pingu trying to play it safe while also catching up in economy, but he just can't do it. 4 farms is all you need for this game. Today I learned. Pedro pretty much scouts everything. I wonder how he's going to react. Maybe get some more farms. Oh no, he's respecting Pingu, getting some more warrens. And now just look at the economy kicking in here for Pedro. He has almost quadruple. Yes, quadruple the economy, and he's gonna go for more. Went ahead, get more ahead. Easy game. Right, and now Pingu is satisfied, I think, with the number of lizards that he has. So he's gonna try to do something with them. Unfortunately, his commander died while trying to run up this high ground, and he's gonna look for the snipes, and that's the right thing to do. Unfortunately, this base from Pedro is so safe. It is so safe. High ground, in front of it, water. Have you ever seen a base that is this well protected? I don't think so. This is gonna be really tough for anyone to break, and especially if you're behind on everything: economy, army, composition. All right, I think I understand Pingu's plan at this point. So there's another way to win in this game, which is to have your opponents starve. It just takes a little bit of time to do it. Pingu is buying himself time. He's gonna go for the wraparound. Unfortunately, as I said, there's just no way into this base. And Pedro having that seizure might have been him really wanting to get this campfire, but not quite being able to walk through this little pathway. All right, here we go. It's 36 squirrels versus 21 lizards. Who will win this fight? Pedro needs to be sure he's not being attacked from behind. Wants to get a little bit of economy before he goes in, just to ensure that he's not running out of food anytime soon. And Pingu is just waiting for him to show up, and then he wants to go around, and he's gonna do it. He only has 4 structures to take out to win this game. He's gonna go for this expansion first. Ooh, I don't know if the path is taking us that good. He's getting it, but does he have a structure of his own? No. And that's game. That was a game of tooth and tail. Anyway, moving on to the shade. That was a win for Pedro, so I'm gonna put a 1 here. So we're down to the last game of this stage 2 knockout, because this is a best of 3. Returning to the lobby. Let's see. Pedro is already selecting his deck. It looks like he has found a deck he likes and is sticking to it, which is a wise decision. All right. I'm not sure what F means, guys. Can someone enlighten me? F? For farm mole plays. For farm mole. Let's see if any of the players pick a mole. They're playing fair games here. No mole shenanigans so far. Pedro was trying to mind game Pingu into thinking he was using moles, but he wasn't actually running them. So Pingu is ready. He's got a deck. Squirrel, lizard, falcon, chameleon, owl, and mine. Mines. They're gonna see mines this game. F means fudge. Press F to pay respects. Alright. I will have to watch that link some other time, because we are currently in a game number 3, Pedro versus Pingu. Spawning in the top position in this map, it is Pingu playing as Hopper. And spawning in the bottom position of this map, it is Pedro Owl playing as Archimedes. There is a lot of sort of maybe abusable high ground here. If Pingu can secure a position up here. He's not running the ferrets this game though. Oh! Pedro is not quite alright. Those corners really seem to frustrate him. But yeah. What can you do? Both players seem to be going for economy here. 8 farms before Warrens. So looking at this map, Pingu's first expansion is very far out of the way. Very far. There is this campfire, but it's as accessible to Pedro as it is to Pingu, pretty much. I would have to give map advantage here to Pedro, because this mill is fairly safe to take. Can be a little bit awkward to take it. Ooh, mine going down. Right. Some surprise is going to come in at some point in this map. It's useful for scouting too. And it seems like Pedro has scouted Pingu and is satisfied with it. He doesn't need to see the rest of the map. He knows he's got a natural, he's feeling confident. Pingu, however, tries to scout everything and know exactly what he can and cannot do this game. Pedro gets the best eco maps, is what Mishi is saying, and that I cannot disagree with that. He has been getting fairly lucky with map gen. That is for sure. Alright. Oh, Pingu's like, you think you can just go and build farms against me? The ping to the E to the I to the N to the G to the U. No, you cannot. I'm gonna crush your face with lizards and squirrels. And there's 2 farms in the middle. The farms are cancelled, and Pingu immediately scouts it. So how is he going to respond? That's really good for him. He was able to cancel that. It's nice that Pedro respects Pingu here. That's a good thing. Alright. Oh, it's going to be hard to fight with those lizards though, because if they engage before the squirrels are there like this, it's going to be pretty bad. They get some value, but the gas is going down. Oh, this is pretty good, but he loses vision on all of the squirrels up there, and now the units are fighting in the gas, and the attack pretty much whiffed, and Pedro is ahead in economy again. Oh, that was surprisingly looking fairly alright for Pingu, but as soon as he lost vision of the high ground, everything just went downhill. What's his plan going to be? Alright, he wants to see this. Go. Oh, he's gonna go for the sneaky attack. But unfortunately for him, Pedro scouts his army moving out. That is unfortunate. And Pedro is just getting some farms, getting some army. Army first, farms later. Respecting your opponent is wise. Fear Bro, too long didn't read. F is a reference to COD Advanced Warfare, one scene where the game where the character has died and the player has to physically press F to pay respect. So, okay, got it. Pedro builds 1 MG and GG. Yeah. All games Pedro has only been defending, Pingu throwing his army. Also true. So much truth in chat today. Well, Pingu decided that attacking is fun, but it's not really getting him anywhere, so he wants to get a mill up, but is that going to be too late? 5-minute mark has been reached. 4 farms down, but Pedro has tripled the economy of Pingu at this point. So any fight, Pingu has to trade with 300% efficiency to stay in the game. That means that one squirrel has to take out a skunk. That's gonna be rough. Pedro getting even more economy and more dudes. He's got all the dudes. No tier 3 just yet though. And here's Pingu. He has those mines. He needs mines at this point in the game. He needs a really good mine connections. There's one on the site there. Pedro navigating around it. It could be a really large hit there actually. But he decides to move back for a bit. Unsure what Pingu is planning. Because it is really curious, right? When you see your enemy going back and forth with just a few units, doing these weird moves, losing lizards left and right. Mine connection doesn't get enough done, unfortunately. And now Pedro is slowly moving his army back and forth. I would like to see him use his skunks here to try and detonate the mines before he moves there with the squirrels. So he can do that for free. But alternatively, you can just get more eco and more warrants. Looks like the map's in his favor. He recognizes it, and this is the way to play it. Here we go. An engagement? No, not quite. Who knows he can't take the fight. He needs really good mine connections. But Pedro, not forgetting about the mines, actually moves back. That is so good by him. Because whenever I play against mines, I forget about them. And they detonate in my face, and I just lose everything. Pedro, a player of another caliber. Recognizing the threat that those mines are. Force B. Can't find the word. Alright, an engagement is gonna come down here with the triple army size Pedro. And the mine connects. 1, 2. Is it enough? 3. No, not quite. The pigeon's healing all of that army before the next mine hits. And this is just Pingu bleeding out here. Incredible difference in army value, and that's going to be game. A premium bow. Mines to beat Prozix. Got it. Write that in your strategy book. Alright. GG guys, well played. Really interesting series, but it means, unfortunately for Pingu, that Pedro takes this best of 3 and is the winner. It is not over for Pingu just yet, though, because he will be playing in the match for 3rd place. Currently, however, we are going to move on to the second semifinals, which is Jacoby versus Lesnek. Guys, are you ready to play? Pay your respects, guys. That was a rough ending to the series. "21 Duels 2v2 when?" Yeah, maybe 2v2s. 2v2s aren't quite in the spirit of 21 Duels, though. But it could be a team of revolutionaries challenging the team of duelists for sure. Huh. Alright. I think Pingu memed too hard, that's what he said. Anyway, right now we are waiting for Lesnek and Jacoby, if I'm not mistaken. Nani? 2v2s are the greatest. Yeah, 2v2s can be fun. It's nice that there is different strategies for 2v2s. I'm gonna create a new match. It's a password. Uncle Pingu, I am so sorry to all of my fans. I know you wanted the lizards. Try to please everyone. Let the Liz boys roll. Alright, we have Lesnek. So fast. Lesnek's just, you create a lobby, he's there. Instantly. Never too late. It's not too late. It's never too late. Now it's just Jacoby we are waiting for. I hope someone got that reference to this song. Alright, Jacoby's here. It's not too late, it's never too late. No, 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 no. Mishi's did SAR now? Alright, here we go! Semi-finals of the 21 Duels spin-off, the Gang of Strife. Alright, yes, Gang of Strife. Lesnek versus Jacoby. Spawning in the top left corner position of the map. It is Jacoby playing as Bellified. And spawning in the southeast position, it is Lesnek playing as Archimedes. Ooh, Lesnek is a little bit late with those farms. Wanted to get something done with moles, perhaps. Was not able to find the right angle there, it seems like. But not to worry. Lesnek has plenty of tricks up his sleeve. Unfortunately, he's not quite running the snakes though, which would be helpful if a badger from Jacoby ever gets out. And here it is, Warren on 7 farms, queuing the 8th farm. Really safe play here from Lesnek. But Jacoby's just gonna get a bunch of Warrens after the 8th farm and rely on the rallying distance to cover the lack of units for him. I have to say though, Lesnek has a good shot at winning this match because of this mill right in the center of the map. If he can secure it, he controls a fairly large amount of this map, and it's going to be really hard for Jacoby to get this mill or this mill. So we're gonna have to see how these players play to this map. So far nothing special happening. Jacoby saving up for a tier 2, putting it in front of his base there so that it's not possible to really snipe something from here. Wants to keep all of his Warrens here. I like that. So for Lesnek going for tier 2 himself right now. This area is actually only accessible from this ramp right here. So it's a decent place to hide tier 3. Currently there's just squirrels though. Squirrels, toads, and the skunks for both players actually. But Jacoby running some pigeons instead. And Lesnek's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's getting this mill, not putting any farms down just yet. He knows that could be dangerous, but as I say that, there's the first farm. Cancels it because it gets scouted immediately and gets some more units. No, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, units. Very good. Currently, this structure has only cost him 60 food and is providing him with vision, territory, and some tanking in case Jacoby wants to attack. I think it would have been possible for him to take a farm actually. And he scouts that tier 3. But it's already halfway done. And how do you respond when you have no snakes? What do you do? This is looking rough for Lesnek, for sure. I would be panicking in this position. 100% panic. Jacoby doesn't have the food though to instantly start building it. He does because he cancels that tier 2. But right now Jacoby or Lesnek's at his doorstep. Perfect timing from him. Toad's getting decent connections there. One more is up in the front. Gas is good for him. Can he capitalize on this though? His units are bleeding out. He doesn't have any healing, so the pig's really helping out with the damage here, and the pigeons are able to keep a few units for Jacoby alive and deflect the attack there. But this is round 2 of Lesnek. The badger is still building. He needs to attack, and he knows it. He's going in. Toad connection is decent, but gas goes down on top of the squirrels. Squirrels are attacking the pigeons. And he's getting some damage in, but is it enough? Oh, I guess one more of the Warrens. And now the badger is out. And at this point, what do? You run. If that badger gets in range of that mill, it's gonna have free rev. Unless Lesnek doesn't really have the... Oh, here we go. A few good toad connections, but the gas is so good. All of the squirrels are inside of that blue gas. Uncontested badger at this point in time. And it's just destroying everything that Lesnek has right on top of the Warrens, which is exactly where he wanted to be. Every unit that spawns gets taken down immediately. Falcon does nothing. And the expansion is down, the mill is down, there's pigeons on the field to heal it, and there's no way of coming back for Lesnek. GG. Oh boy. Rest in peace. Gonna grab some water. The gang of Strife. Semifinals. Lesnek versus Jacoby, game number 2. Spawning in the top left corner of the map, it is Lesnek playing as Archimedes. And in the bottom corner of the map, it is Jacoby spawning as Hopper. And getting his 8th farm. No. Yes. Soonish. Maybe. I don't think what I said makes sense, really. But I think he will get his 8th farm before anything else. Based on the way that the games have been played and this map, there's a fair distance between both players. But this mill for Lesnek, though, on the high ground, if he can secure this position like in last game, then he can extend that high ground advantage to here, which then means he can siege this base, and this position. So I think map advantage here goes to Lesnek. Both players have sort of access to this campfire, except Jacoby can target it from the high ground, which means that actually only Jacoby can really use it. But if Lesnek has map presence, Jacoby also cannot take the campfire. So it's probably not going to be utilized anytime soon. Both players getting a few units up. Tier 2 goes up. Lesnek is waiting for it. Goes for the 3 war in Tier 2. But Jacoby for 2 war in Tier 2. Not too much happening at this moment. In that case, we can take a look at their decks. Oh, Pedro, that's so nice of you. I'm your favorite ginger boy. Aw. Thank you for that, I think. Not sure. Well. Anyway, the mill goes up for Lesnek. But Jacoby's just gearing up for a stronger army at the moment. Let's see what happened just now. Uncle Pingu with the follow. Thank you, Uncle Pingu, for supporting the stream. Your support is what keeps me going, because I get no money for this shit. Caster life. Yeah, really, it's like the guys in chat and people watching is what makes this fun. So I really do appreciate the follow and the interaction in chat. It's always good to have you guys here. Anyway, going back to the game, Jacoby must be feeling the pressure, although he is getting that badger right now. And Lesnek wants to know what's up. He goes in and out for the scout, saving the commander. He knows he needs to get out because his army was right here up in at the front. So if his commander would have died, there would have been a possibility for Jacoby to capitalize on it and get an advantageous fight there. But this also means that because Lesnek didn't run in, he did not get to see the badger, but he must feel like something's happening, because if you see Jacoby not expanding at this point in the game, you gotta start to be nervous. So he goes in for the attack, he gets a decent attack at the start, but then the gas kicks in, and the ferret's not really useful in a fight like this. And Jacoby manages to deflect that attack easily without taking damage to any of his buildings. And now he's just waiting for the badger to come out. And if it does come out, the snack doesn't actually have snakes. He does have an economy lead, but for how long can he maintain that? His army's looking fairly weak. He's unable to use the ferrets for sieging. He sees that Jacoby still does not have an expansion. Going in for the scout right now. And there it is. Just as it spawns, he notices that there's a badger, or confirms that the badger is there. What is his reaction going to be? Some lizards? Alright, that's good. But do you have time though? Those warrens are just gonna help the badger rev up its machine gun at this point, losing a lot of gold in the process. It wants to get the right angle, but the scum gas is already gone down. But he gets some decent damage on the badger, but Jacoby's able to save it, and now it's just uncontested. The ferrets are not gonna do anything. Neither are a few tier 1 units, not with the healing to support it. But as I say that, it gets dangerously low, but Jacoby pulls back just in time, and at this point, the snack has to concede. Ripperoni. Badger really strong. Especially when you don't have an economy lead. You're not able to scout it in time. Yeah, when you discover that badger, but not just the warren, but the actual badger popping out of the warren, you're gonna be like, oh. So that means Jacoby has taken the second game as well, causing this best of 3 to end with Jacoby as the victor, which means that the semifinals are now officially over, and we're going to be putting the winners right here. Jacoby is the winner of the first or the second semifinals, and Pedral is the other winner, and then the remaining players will be facing off in the next match. So if anyone can ping Lesnek and Pingu and tell them that they are up, that is appreciated, because this will be the next match. Let's see what's happening in chat. Pedro, I don't want to fight Jacoby. Unfortunately, you do not have a choice. Jacoby is the person to beat. Premium, can no one beat one base badger? No one expects the same deck twice in a row. Well, yeah, the one base badger is definitely strong if you do not have the appropriate units to respond, meaning you have snakes or fox or your own badger or a huge economy lead. But I think economy leads are the weakest against badger, because a badger attack never stops. It just goes in, and if you don't have the army, it's just gonna wreck everything that you have. And for an economy lead to be valuable, that means you need to have time, because more time means more food, means more army, even though your army is of lower quality. Anyway, let's check out if the players are here. Jacoby is here. Lesnek's still in the game. If right. Wait, I don't want to see Jacoby. We're not gonna be playing Jacoby. We're gonna be playing Pingu and Lesnek. Alright, Lesnek's right here. Pingu as well. Great timing, guys. Good job on that. Welcome to the Badger Hater team. Well, Lesnek, he has the answer encoded in his name. Whoa, deck picking's gone real fast. No time to read chat. That means we already jump into the lower bracket of the finals, or the, what do you call that? Not actually sure. Please someone tell me what you call the match for third and fourth place, because that's what we're playing right now. Spawning in the right position on this map, it is Pingu playing as the one and only Hopper. And spawning in the left position of the map, it is Snack playing as the Quartermaster. And it seems like the commanders had a little bit of a standoff here, a little pistol duel, because Snack was delayed with the farms. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And both players seem to be going for 8 farms here. Bronze match? Is that what it's called? Well, also, hey Onyx, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you again. Both players going for the 8 farm opening on this map as well. Distance is fairly large, and there's this water here. I am super concerned for Snack actually. He has, well, this, there, 6. He does have place for his warrants, at least. But it's going to be fairly hard for him to move out. His only accessible expansion has this amazing little pool. When on the other hand, Pingu has 1, 2, 3 super free expands. No doubt, this map is in favor of Pingu. Jacoby has shown us though that it does not need to matter. The Snack does have a fox, and the fox is actually fairly good against the badger. Yeah, exactly like Premium is saying. Snack's fine, he just needs a fox. Just need to get a fox out. Ooh, oh, did you notice that? Pingu with the, oh, I'm going to build tier 3. Psych! This is tier 3 time. And he's doing the mind games, but I'm not sure if Snack's gonna fall for it. Wait, is he though? He's advancing. He was building some moles. He is building more moles. 3 moles. So if Pingu can defend, he's gonna be in a pretty good position. The toads are dangerous though. He needs to make sure he doesn't go in front of these warrants. Needs to keep his dudes in the back. Here we go. Two warrants have gone down. 3. But Snack's losing a lot of moles in the process, so it's fairly even. Only problem for Pingu is he cannot really. Oh, this is good. Pingu, this is your time to shine. Go in. It's 4 squirrels. Very good. Very nice. Deflect that attack. Immediately get your warrants back up. Otherwise, the second wave will kill you. Perfect play here from Pingu, deflecting that attack easily. However, I think the trades were fairly equal actually. I'm not entirely sure. Well, it does look like Snack has lost a lot actually in that attack. He doesn't have tier 2 and Pingu does, as well as a turret. There's no way Snack's gonna make this attack work. He needs to realize this, because Pingu is doing exactly what he needs to do. He does go in front of his warrants for a little bit, loses a warrant, but the toads don't do anything for Snack. The gas is good. Every piece of the puzzle is in place here for Pingu, and is just easily deflecting this attack. If you need someone to show you how to defend, Pingu can do that. That was brilliant. Alright, Snack's changing strategies. Or is he? He still has a bunch of tier 1. He knows that attacking won't work, so he's posturing to get this mill up. And that's going to be a tough mill to take. But if he does secure it, I think he has still a decent shot at this game. Her Pingu is sneaking in. Just a few farms here. Just a few being 3 already, actually. That's going to be huge, especially as we are nearing the 2, 1-0. The 5-minute mark has been reached. The 4 farms just died. And now Pingu is pretty much on double the economy of Lesnack. Getting your farms up around this mark is probably a really efficient way to capitalize on economy, if that makes sense. I've been thinking about that, but haven't really formalized it in my head. But it just means that you're percentage-wise, or relatively, if you get farms up and you get to the 5-minute mark, your opponent does not, those farms are going to be worth more than they would be before the 5-minute mark, if that makes sense. Anyway, getting our attention back to the game, Pingu is getting some more farms, and there's the tier 3. He's learned from Jacoby on the fly. He's like, what do you call those things? Those aliens who evolve? Not sure. I need to be less of a cultuurbarbaar. Shit, I don't know the English word. Oh man. Alright, Pingu smells blood. He has some really nice tier 2 units, the Falcon Skunks. But the Toads can be really good for the snack, so he does need to be careful. Toad connections are pretty good actually. Gas going down for both sides. And it looks like with the pigeons, Pingu is victorious after all. Slightly, but still significantly, because trading equal means he's just more ahead than he was before, since he has the economy lead. And Lesnack just taps out. G to the G. Snacks Protoss. Confirmed. Alright. Let's see. Pingu. Really well played. Good to see. Adaptation from the players. Alright. Now, can Lesnack turn the tide? Let's see what kind of a deck he's gonna come up with. Triple tier 2 maybe? They never expect the same deck thrice in a row. If you're comfortable with a deck, then why not, right? Gotta give him the very best you got. Anyway, a nice and open snow map on which we have spawning Lesnack in the top right corner, who's playing as the Quartermaster. Running a triple tier 2 deck actually. And spawning in the lower left corner of the map, it is Pingu, who's playing as Hopper. So far, both players have just been scouting. And they've seen a fairly large part of the map already, while they are getting all of their farms up. We were actually considering playing this little for fun tournament on the Mishi Madness mod, which would have been fun, but unfortunately not all players are familiar with the mod, and that would give a very significant advantage to the players who are familiar, because it's essentially Tooth and Tail 2. All the knowledge you have gathered over the years can be pretty much discarded because everything's different. It's not entirely true, of course, but that's what it feels like. It's really different, but fun. Different is fun. Allows for thinking about new strategies and doing whatever. Not gonna say if it's better than current Tooth and Tail. Definitely not saying anything about that. Just saying that it was fun to play with it and just see what the community has come up with. Anyway, getting our attention back to this game, it looks like Pingu wants to aggressively place his warrants forward and secure a position on the map. This high ground can be super valuable to him, so I think that's what he's going to try to do. Lesnack, on the other hand, triple tier 1 Warren into ferrets. And Pingu has not yet taken the campfire. And he couldn't because he was building tier 2. But for a short while he's going to have the tier 2 advantage. And we're going to have to see if he capitalizes on it. Lesnack. Yep, Falcons as well. Pretty greedy, I would say, if you see this from Pingu. Oh! Pingu with a little bit of a sneaky expansion here in the back, actually. Right, another scout coming here. He's coming out for both players. And I have to say, this expansion for Lesnack is pretty darn good. And it looks like actually it's Lesnack on the offensive here with those ferrets. Pingu pulling everything forward and just going straight for the engagement. I like this if he's able to get vision, however. He does have the pigeons to provide him vision. But his commander died and now he needs to pull back. I think that fight was in favor of Pingu actually. But Lesnack... Ooh, this is close. No one really has the advantage. No one has any extra farms up. They're on equal economy. Pingu was considering it for a second around the 1.5 minute mark, but opted against it. And he built a Badger Warren instead. But he doesn't have to start actually building them. But now there's Toads for the stack. Wow, they get targeted down by the squirrels. Oh, can he get the Falcon? He gets the Falcon, and that's exactly what he needs to do because he was almost out of squirrels there. Ooh, a rogue Toad there, going in for the kill. Doesn't quite get it though. This point, Lesnack's gonna need to see what Pingu's doing. He gets a scout off on the expansion, sees no farms. Must be really glad seeing that. And Pingu has actually cancelled his tier 3. Oh man, and without scouting, I would have loved to see him scout to decide how he needs to respond, but instead he pretty much gambles. And now with the triple tier 2 building, not yet building units, I think Lesnack has an opportunity to deal some damage here, and he is moving forward while also getting some more farms. At the right moment too, because we hit the 5 minute mark. This game can still go either way. And now Pingu sees those farms. He knows he's under pressure. If he waits, he loses. So he needs to get something done. And I think Lesnack is going to give him the answer. Moving in. Toad connections to connect. Gas going down. It's a little bit late though. But the ferrets are not really doing what they need to do. And I think that with the pigeons, Pingu is winning this fight and he can push forward. He still has 2 falcons and 2 skunks and keeps everything alive. Really good here. Needs to let those pigeons heal. Doing exactly what he needs to do. And this is the time to go in or cancel army and go into farms. But I think going into farms might be a little bit too late. So I like this here from Pingu. He's gonna go for it. Gets a free Warren. No damage dealt here. And now he's on this little high ground. Toad connections are almost good, but they don't actually explode. Oh, well, one gets the explosion, but with all the gas here and the Falcons in the sky, Pingu is looking to take this game, and he does. Lesnack taps out. Really decisive player from Pingu. And unfortunately for Lesnack, his offensive maneuvers did not pay off. Pingu looks like a new man. He has transformed, evolved into a higher being. Which means that currently we are tied in a 1-1 for the bronze match. And we're gonna get into the third game between Lesnack and Pingu. Did you know that when you die, you get reincarnated as a penguin colony? Yes, Pingu, a third match. Oh, it's 2-0 game over? Wait, what? I make mistakes, told you guys. Oh yeah, it is. It's 2-0 for Pingu. Oh my god. Lol 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 lol, feels bad. Snack placing 4th, and Pingu comes in 3rd place. Which means to be honest, actually, I think it's better to finish 5th than 4th. You get to play more duels, which is more screen time. And you gotta get screen time for all the fame. So next up is Pedro and Jacoby for the finals. Let's see where they are. Kobe. Screen time. Yeah, 1st place really good, 5th place really good. 4th to 2nd place, it's like, that's for honor. Well, that's my opinion at least. And I'm gonna relay a message from Pingu to all his fans. Pingu thanks you and loves you. I think we should all thank Pingu for being such a boss and showing us how to play this game and make an incredible comeback with that owl game. That was just too good. Anyway, I think both players are in the lobby right now, Jacoby and Pedro, and are selecting their favorite commanders. Here we go. Yeah, we do have to start doing drug tests, because I don't think it's possible for anyone to get this good in such a short time period without the use of supplements, as Premium puts it. Alright. Looks like Jacoby is sticking to what he knows. Guys, I need you all to pee in a cup. Ship it to Europe. Then on stream I'm gonna like put a straw in it. That's gonna turn green or blue. It's gonna be bad news. Anyway, we are playing on this snowy map, Jacoby versus Pedro Owl, in the finals of the Gang of Strife 21 Duels pre-event. Game number 1. Pedro Owl has spawned in the top right corner of the map and is playing as Archimedes. And Jacoby, on the other hand, is playing in the left-hand position of the map as Balified. This map is pretty darn atrocious. I would say, looking at this inaccessible high ground expansion for Jacoby, that is, he's gonna need to come up with a good plan like he did against Lesnack, I think, which basically meant building a badger and just crushing. Guys, I am like permanently nervous that I do not have the game screen on. But so far I've been doing pretty good, right? I'm sorry to disappoint you and not have any radio casting today, but trade-offs.
You dick.
Right? Some of these Liz boys for Pedro Owl. Wants to find the right angle to maybe pick off a warren or a farm. But is he gonna find one? I think Jacoby is pretty safe here, actually. Cancels his tier 2. Not sure what he was reacting to. Not sure what he scouted. I didn't pay too much attention, but with the 4 lizard warrens, Pedro has a lot of map presence here, and Jacoby's unable to move out. Jacoby's going here for the scout. Confirms there is not actually a mill, because that would be rough for him maybe if there's some static defense that Pedro can build. But fortunately, Pedro is not doing any of these things. He's just getting a mill up and saving up for tier 2. No, get some more tier 1. The size tier 2 is going to take too long to come into effect here. Jacoby, on the other hand, is gonna, that's his plan. Get a bunch of tier 1, enough to defend, and then go for the badger. Pedro is gonna have a tough time scouting this. Alright, sees the lizard, sees the expansion. Pedro killed the commander, and he wants to maybe look if he can get some pickoffs here. But Jacoby revives in time to defend. Pedro wisely retreating, but he still has not been able to scout this warren. Nope, does not know it's there. He's building some farms. And he doesn't really have an answer to the badger in his deck. Except for maybe the wolf. But the wolf's going to be way too late. I do have to say that the lizards are going to do fairly well against the badger too. If he can get a critical mass of them. And if he can find the right angle and surround to attack from. Ideally, he would hide his lizards. And as soon as the badger is there, approach him from the side or behind. So his units find a position to attack from sooner. And Jacoby is sort of scared and doesn't know where to pull his badger to. Economy lead is there for Pedro. At this point, he just needs to get a ton of tier 1. Commander gets in, gets the scout off, knows what he's up against. No more secrets, although he must have been suspecting this. Campfire for Jacoby. This means that Jacoby is not having faith in his badger to finish out the game immediately. Alright, he's moving forward. Wants to get the mill as well. I do like that. It's going to give him some territory which could potentially deal with snakes in case Pedro has that. Alright, here we go. So many pigeons up in the sky. Here we go. 4 skunks, and he's microing this, but the badger going to die. 8 health, but it survives. All of the pigeons die though, but the badger is still here to fight. But there's also units, and the pigeons get taken down. The badger is now dealing a lot of damage, but also taking damage that is not immediately restored. And I think Pedro has the economy to keep rallying units here. He just needs to make sure that he has plenty of units to also deal with the pigeons in case the badger runs. And it looks like the badger is finally starting to get some value here. The farms go down, the army goes down, and the badger is now being healed and in the perfect position to deal with the rallies from Pedro. And I think this is going to be game, guys. Was really well fought by Jacoby here, barely saving the badger from dying at 8 HP. And after that initial fight, like I said, Pedro just did not have that critical mass of lizards to deal with all of the units. or to get the DPS out on the Badger to deal with it. I don't think these skunks really contributed to winning for Pedro. I think 2 skunks would have been fine, but more lizards would have been better. But, you know, you don't have full information when you're playing. Nerves can come into play. It's all good because we still have a few games to go here. Let's see. So, Jacoby takes 1 game with the Badger. I kind of need to go to the bathroom, actually. I'm gonna do that after this game. Better drink some more water than Pro6. Yeah. Well, I'm also thirsty and my throat's hurting. Just pee in a cup. Oh, that's nice. If I finish this, I could definitely. Not sure if I want to, though. I felt like I was on roids on that final fight there. Pretty hyped. Anyway, a sandy, deserty, taiga sort of tundra map here. And in the top right corner, we have Pedro spawning as Archimedes. While on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have Jacoby, who's playing as Bellified. Neither players is running moles, and I would like to see moles, actually. Not for the cheese, but for a strong push when you need it. I think moles are underestimated sometimes in their power to make a push happen. They provide a tempo swing because you can build them in the right position, and then they also do not require a warn. Alright, what is Pedro doing up there? He needs to make sure he's sort of caught. Yep, there we go. Another seizure. This is not looking good. I think with that seizure, I have to say the game is in favor of Jacoby. Jacoby scouts nothing at the base of Pedro. How's he going to respond? Does he have lizards? No, he's not running lizards. He's running squirrels. And he only has 1 warren out. I don't think he actually has a real opportunity to do anything. Pedro, oh, this is not going to end well, Pedro. Your snake is just going to be overwhelmed by the amount of... Although, as I say that, Jacoby is building some pigeons. So there's a chance Pedro can make use of this, this little snack here. But we're going to have to see. He does have lizards to complement the lack of tanking. But instead he's going to get more pigeons. This means that if the snake dies, the pigeons are just going to be so exposed. They can't fight. They don't do anything on their own. They will just get completely destroyed by these squirrels. 6 squirrels on the field. 1 snake coming in. Pedro Owls decides against it. Backs off. He gets 1, 2 pigeons for free. And that's the telltale sign to Pedro that this is just not going to work for you. He agrees and starts building some of those lizards. At this point, what is Jacoby going to do? Score so far is 1-0 for Jacoby. Alright, moving in with the snakes. The snakes are so nice for poking, but you have to be able to retreat safely. Or is he going to get the snakes though? Snakes get some tags off. But only 1 of the squirrel dies. Or 2. 2 of the squirrels for 0 snakes. That was a good trade for Pedro. Really nice. Baiting Jacoby into that. And retreating with those snakes in time. And this is actually why I don't like the pigeons as much from Jacoby. But now this is looking really strong for Pedro. He has snakes and lizards. Alright. There we go. Snake's gonna tag some dudes. Lizards get in right on top of the army, and Jacoby is not actually behind his warrants. The snake tag micro is really good from Pedro. He gets pretty much all of the scrolls, and now the snakes are somewhat uncontested here. He needs to keep tagging those units. He gets a warrant for free. Pigeons are doing their best healing, and this is going in favor of Pedro. Is he making this work? He needs to rally. He is rallying those lizards. Lizards coming in now. And gets tags on the Falcon. Needs just 2 more tags maybe to deal with it. No, pigeons will save the Falcon. In this case, obviously, the pigeons are doing so much for Jacoby. And Pedro is looking strong in this match. Jacoby really needed something more there to deal with all these lizards. Or use the defender's advantage more effectively, which means getting behind your warrants a little bit further. Here he is, the second wave of units coming in from Pedro. Does he have enough though? Looks like Jacoby is now using those warrants as a defensive measure, and Pedro recognizes it. And actually, how can I have missed this? The Badger is almost out already from Jacoby. And here it is. Only 3 pigeons to support it currently. A maximum of 6 can be built for him at the moment. But Pedro is preparing. He has 3 snakes. I think with the right engage, he can actually deal with that Badger. If Jacoby tries to put the Badger in front, the snakes will get his tags. Ooh, a bad way to start the fight here, picking off those units. Snake tags on a lot of things, but not on the Badger. Well, 7 tags on the Badger. Badger is in fact dying, but now there's still some units in the air from Jacoby. But can he do it though? Tag micro is decent, not amazing. And can this push from Jacoby be stopped? He's right on top of those warrants. And even though the snake poison is still doing a lot for Pedro, he is rallying his units back, and now the Falcons die, the Commanders die, and the pigeons are exposed. Does he notice? He does. The mill is alive, and now 1, 2, 3, 4. No, only 3 or something pigeons die. Could have gotten a lot of value there, but Jacoby retreating in time to save the larger part of that force. However, the Badger warrant had to be cancelled. It just could not be supported. And 11 squirrels out on the field and a bunch of pigeons are going to try to contest these snakes and lizards. Snake is getting tagged, but on the same pigeon. And the expansion from Pedro is actually dealt with. And this is where snakes are no longer too good. He just doesn't have the DPS to deal with the squirrels at this point. Alright. Although the snake is good in defending, he did lose that expansion for it. How is Pedro going to deal with this? He doesn't have food. He can go to his campfire, but he doesn't have food. Needs to cancel more of his warrants, and this lost him a lot of time, which is essential at this part in the game. Jacoby, though, is happily sitting on his mill. He has 4, 5, 6 warrants up. Even though only 3 are full of scrolls, this is an interesting game at the moment. It's all gonna come down to the micro here. With the right tags from these snakes, Pedro can do this, but it's gonna be tough because he's fighting 9 squirrels. This needs to be perfect from Pedro, and this little. I would actually like to see Jacoby cancel all of those pigeons and get more squirrels. That would help him more to defend against snakes than anything else. Alright, a mill from Pedro. That's not ever going to really do anything. And he's going to try to find an angle. I think he has sort of an angle here. But the snakes can be chased down by those squirrels so effectively. And Jacoby is just sitting back. He's like, alright, you have to attack me. You have nothing. I'm getting a second farm. And another warren. Yeah, Pedro really needs to start getting value using these snakes, but it looks like Jacoby's not going to give him time to. Jacoby's on the mill. This is not too good for Jacoby, actually. He will get the mill, but he will lose a few units in the process. And there goes 1 scroll, 2 scroll, 3 scrolls. Get those units, Jacoby or Pedro. This is your chance. Let's go. Only 6 scrolls on the map, and now he's going to get this Warren 100%. That's for free. He needs to find a better angle where he's not up against the high ground. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets another Warren. There we go. Needs to pull back. Really good play from Pedro here. Oh, he loses 1 pigeon. Oh, he gets tags. He doesn't lose the snakes. If he loses snakes, he loses the game. He gets tags on all the units. Jacoby looks desperate at this point. Tags on all these scrolls. 1, 2. He needs to tag the other scrolls as well. Let's go. He still has buildings. Barely does not get that campfire. If he keeps rallying the pigeons won't heal, and they don't. Pedro is now, I think, in the leading position. Even though he's down on a farm, he needs to make sure he understands exactly what's going on. Perhaps cancel the pigeons. The pigeon warden to get a second snake up. But I think he can potentially do this. It's going to be tough no matter what, though. Jacoby already on 8 scrolls, going to 9. Oh, the snake in a bad position. High ground vision not doing good things for Pedro here. Loses 2 pigeons in the process for no squirrels. And at this point, this is going to be really tough. Yeah, he really does need to sell that pigeon more, and it's not doing anything. Ooh, he gets a squirrel. He gets it with the triple tag on 1 scroll. Doesn't matter. Value is value. Kiting, he's doing what he needs to do. This is good, but if he loses that snake, it's game over. And there it is. And the forfeit. Wow. That was a tense game. With full information, it's way easier to make decisions, but both players really showing their strengths there, and it was a good game for sure. But Jacoby wins it, and that means we are on a 2-0 lead for Jacoby, which means that Pedro needs to do a reverse sweep, or whatever it's called, and win 3 games in a row. We're going to have to see if he can do it. I am going to go to the bathroom, though.